Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibs7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog. In this one, I'm going to be talking about this week's update. So I did have time before moving all my stuff out to make this video just to quickly touch on the update, as well as the thankful new polls that were released today, although there were not 3, only 2, which is unfortunate. They've had 2 going now for the last week, and they're only got 2 going this week as well, which isn't the best, but at least they didn't abandon it completely. I'm also likely going to be able to actually get 99 mining before I leave, which is pretty insane. I've just been grinding like a madman these past few days. I've gotten from 89 to 99 really quickly. Saren stones are just so fast and so much better than gold was back when I did it for 99 on my old main. So I'm only 138k off of 99, so I should be able to get that pretty soon, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be glad to have these 2 skills out of the way. Anyways, on to the update. So we knew what was coming because they released the patch notes a little early, but the crystal Skillchompas are now in the game, and they are obviously a really high requirement of 97 hunters, so that is definitely pretty high. I do not have the requirement to do that at all, but my friend Alex actually is maxed and had the level required for that, so he did do them, and according to him they are about 1.1 million hunter experience an hour, which is really high, but in my opinion that's just fine because they are 97 hunter required, so having a really high XP rate is, just fine for them. And apparently at the moment they're already less than the Crimson Skillchompas, mostly because people are doing them for money, and they're probably going to do them for experience as well, so they would likely be less than the Crimson ones just because the Crimson ones aren't really hunted that much as far as I know for experience, so it makes sense that the ones that are hunted more for experience are going to be caught more and therefore be lower price. Alongside these new Skillchompas, they've changed the way certain Skillchompa interactions and catching them work, so there's a chance to now catch multiple Skillchompas at any agility level, which is definitely nice because it has the added benefit of improving your usefulness of agility just slightly. I'm trying to see if they have it. Oh, here we go. So multiple is all it says, but Cobalt ones are at 27 hunter and they require 42 agility to get multiple. Let's see what other levels they have for them. Oh dang, there's a pretty big gap. The Adamant version, the Viridian, are 46 hunter and require 64 agility for multiple. And then the Crimsons are probably going to be pretty high. 94 for Crimsons, which are 89 hunter required, so that's probably the best one I can do. And then you need all the way up at 99 agility to get guaranteed multiple from crystal ones, so that's definitely useful. If you're catching them, you're going to be able to get more experience as well as more money, so it'll help to have a high agility level when catching Skillchompas, which is definitely nice to see. After that, oh, I think I skipped the rune ones. I never saw those. That's why there was such a massive gap. The rune ones are 81 agility, so that is Azure, and those are 68 hunter required. So yeah, pretty high agility levels for them comparatively to the hunter levels, but it makes sense because you're getting multiple of the things, so that's pretty cool. And I think there's just always a chance to get more than one, even if you don't meet that threshold, so look out for that. Skillchompas will now also work from your inventory as well as when wielded, and you can also place box traps during combat, which is very nice because sometimes when you click on a Skillchompa, you'll punch it and kill it, and that will put you into combat, and then you can't place box traps for a little while, which is really annoying. So good to see that they changed that. And you will also now receive Invention Tool XP on failing a skilling action if you're using Skillchompas. So I guess you can have like an invention tool equipped and then use the Skillchompas from your inventory, and it'll give you tool XP regardless of success or failure, which I think is definitely an interesting addition to the Skillchompas functionality. And as far as that's all in terms of the main update. In general, I think it's a pretty good one. Definitely a nice new hunter creature to see, a new really high level one, as well as, could be actually good to use for skilling because it has the same efficiency as the highest level tools in the game. So I'm definitely interested to see how much, what price they settle down at, because they could be decent and might be worth using depending on how much experience per hour they increase your training rates by. especially for like divination, which is really slow. Maybe, I'm not sure. They can be used for divination, fishing, mining, and woodcutting, so like all the gathering skills. So maybe for woodcutting as well, but fishing probably not, and mining is pretty fast here at Sarenstone, so not a huge deal. But yeah, there are actually quite a few little nice things in the regular patch notes as well. First of all, Carapace and Batwing armor is now free to play, which is interesting. They're expanding a little bit more on the free to play side of the game. But one of the main things, which I'm really, really happy to see, is large dungeons can now be started by a party of 2 players in Daemonheim. So previously you needed 3+ to have a large dungeon, which I never really understood. Like, I feel like you should be able to do whatever size dungeon you want, regardless of party size. Like, even if you're by yourself, I don't see why they wouldn't allow you to do a large dungeon if you wanted. It really doesn't make much sense to me. I feel like they should just allow it for any size party to make any size dungeon, but this is a step in the right direction for sure. Definitely going to be nice to be able to duo large dungeons with just like my friend Alex or someone from my clan or something, rather than having to get into a big team to get really good experience rates. So definitely going to be utilizing that. Really glad to see they've changed it, and I hope they continue down that path by making them available for solo players as well, because that would not only really make it easier for me to train on my main, but also on my Iron Man. So that'll be really nice. The Dungeoneering map will also now stay open while you're playing and dynamically update as you move between rooms, which I'm not sure how that works 100%. Maybe it's just replacing your minimap at this point, or it's just like a little option, like maybe like a, you know, how you have an extra tab like right here for D&Ds, like ports. Maybe that's what it's like, but that sounds good. So you don't have to constantly be opening the map to see where to go and stuff. You can just look at it rather than have it be in your way. And they've also added skilling plot icons on the minimap, so for like fishing, farming, mining, woodcutting, prayer altars, summoning obelisks, all that will show up on the minimap in Dungeoneering, just like it does in the overworld. So definitely nice as well. Makes it easier to see skilling spots if you are going for those, and I think that's nice to see. I haven't actually looked at the rest of the patch notes, but those were the ones that they listed on the update page that were significant, and I'm definitely happy to see that, because it is really important to me that they make more dungeon sizes available to lower players. They also changed a bit about the Menaphos Slayer dungeon sigil. They have made vital sparks more common, and recharging a sigil now only requires 1 vital spark per charge, so I expect that will lower their price, which will further decrease the ability to profit at Magister, which is kind of bad, but the prices were a bit ridiculous on those. Like, the sigils were wicked expensive to use and not really worth it as far as I could tell. The skill guide now populates correctly when opening it after leveling up. That's been a glitch for a while now. When you level up but you don't unlock anything and you open up your skill guide to just get rid of the flashing icon, it'll just sit there loading forever. And I guess they fixed that, which is good, because that was kind of annoying. But at least it didn't happen if you unlocked some things, so you could see that. Just trying to make sure I look at everything here. Oh, they have additional information on Voice of Saren tooltips. I can already see that this is a bigger thing, although I don't know exactly what it said before, but it is nice to see that they have more information on what the bonuses actually are for the voice. I think that's very nice to see. Just quickly reading through, it doesn't seem like there's anything super important. Currency pouch favorite slots now work correctly again. That's probably good. Ice cream and sunblock are once again tradable. Oh, the ice cream is actually tradable for the beach. That's interesting. I didn't know that. And let's see what the ninja fixes are. The Excalibur special attack will now display healing hit spot symbols for the duration of its activation. That's very nice. That will allow you to see how much it's actually healing you, because it was kind of arbitrary and hard to tell before. Oh yeah, by the way, this just reminded me, I also did get 90 invention as I expected to, which is pretty nice. I might, but not actually, I'm only 100k off, so probably will be left with the level 10 pickaxe at the end. But yeah, 90 invention is pretty sweet. 9 more levels to go till I get the 99. It's just pretty easy. I'm probably going to get it passively while getting my 99 attack and strength, as well as, sorry if you hear that, there's people working on my house. But I'll probably get it passively while training my 99 attack and strength, as well as wood cutting with my hatchet and stuff like that. So not too hard to get that up. Let's see what else there is. It is now World 77 is now the only members dungeoneering world, so I think that's really nice to have them all change to one world. Even though people are never really in them anyways, I think it's nice to see that because it'll make it easier for people who are looking to find teams just to all be in one place at once. The large dungeons are now in parties of 2. Just trying to continue reading through the things here. A lot of new things can now be stored. Oh, you can now store all of the Nihil secondary or tertiary ingredients, whatever they are. The things that Nihils drop, or are they even called Nihils? Yeah, Nihils. You know, Nihils that you kill after that one quest. If you get them as Slayer task, they drop those tertiary ingredients for summoning. Or is it I don't know what they're called. They drop the things for summoning that you need to make Nihil pouches. And previously you couldn't put them in bobs, which was really annoying because you had to just have them in your inventory. But now you can. You can now put those in Beasts of Burden, which is very nice. I'm glad they changed that. And I think that is pretty much it for the patch notes. But in general, really nice patch notes, if you ask me. The most notably, I would say, is the dungeoneering floors turning to you can do large floors with only 2 people, which is amazing. I think that is something that should have been in the game from the get-go. I think solo players should be able to do larges, but maybe they'll do that eventually. And the crystal Skillchompas seem pretty good as well. I think that's definitely a nice addition to the game and should improve Hunter XP rates beyond 99. I'm looking forward to most likely doing those for my last 2 levels of Hunter when I do get there. I assume they would be the best experience at this point. But yeah, that's basically it for the notes this week. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you are actually able to do the new hunter creatures, or maybe you've utilized them in training some skill. Let me know how that goes. But now I'm going to move on to talk about the polls, and it is about my most wanted update of the year, Clue Scrolls, baby. I am so excited for the Clue Scroll rework, and there are 2 questions regarding it. Unfortunately, the Ruby poll is still a closed seasonal high score reward, which is pretty old now. I wish they would have just added 1 more question. Like, is it really that hard to think of 3 questions to ask? But there are 2 questions that are lasting for a whole week, so they are not going to be having any new polls for a while. But the emote clue improvements is the first question, and it basically asks, do you want to have emote clues continue to make you have to carry crap to the clue and have wasting your bank space full of stuff that you don't really need except for these emotes? And the majority is yes. 75% is needed on both of these polls to pass, but luckily this one is passing. They are going to remove the need to carry extra equipment in order to solve emote clues. That doesn't exactly tell you how it's going to work. Maybe they'll create something similar to the hidey holes like on old school, or maybe they're just going to remove them entirely and replace them with something different. I'd be fine with either solution, so I definitely think it is good that this is passing. It's definitely an annoyance with Clue Scrolls, and I'm glad to see it being removed, at least in some form. Definitely looking forward to that. And the diamond poll is about the multiple Clue Scrolls, and I am so happy this is passing. So we are going to be able to have multiple Clue Scrolls of each tier at once. I am very, very happy to see that. That's always been a kind of a weird thing, but it's sort of just always been that way, so everybody sort of just lives with it. You can only have 1 of each Clue Scroll at a time, but this passing vote says it's definitely going to be allowing us to have more than 1 at once, which is going to be really, really awesome. So, you know, you go on a God Wars dungeon trip, like a God Wars 1 dungeon trip for like a long time, like a long trip, you know, a couple hours or something, and get a bunch of kills. You know, you'll make an elite clue like just early on in the trip, and then you're pretty much, if you don't tally out and do it, you are just not able to get another one. But now with this coming out, you'll be able to get, you know, you go on a God Wars trip and maybe get like 3-4 elite clues, which will be really, really sweet, and then you can just smash them all out afterwards. I think that's really, really nice, and I'm super looking forward to that being implemented with the Clue Scroll rework, and this just gets me even more excited for it to come out. I really can't wait. Gonna be smashing out videos on that like nobody's business, so look forward to that. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video, you guys. Hope you all did enjoy it. Nothing really much else to talk about here. Bit of a shorter one compared to most of my update discussion vlogs, but I do need to get My moving started and done really soon, so I'm going to be working on that. And look out for my 99 mining video later, and then in the next few days, like I said in my video yesterday or the day before, I don't remember, I will definitely have some trouble uploading in the next few days, but there shouldn't be too much to upload about besides my 99 mining, so I kind of covered everything with the update and the polls here, so I'm glad I was able to make this video before I move everything down. So thanks for watching once again. Let me know what you think about the polls as well as about the update in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.